Hi Flosstube, it's Karen, recovering monogamous stitcher. Today is Friday, July 19, and I am back with video number 49. So happy to have you here with me, whether it's today or in the future. I'm so happy with my followers and the increase in subscribers recently. It's great fun. I love reading the comments, and I'll refer to some of those comments in a little bit here. I appreciate it so much. If you've been watching and have not subscribed, please hit subscribe, hit the like, and if you choose the bell when you subscribe, you'll be notified every time I upload a video. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Okay. Comments from last video. I'm back in my sewing room. Last time I talked about needing to find a balance between cross stitch and quilting. That earlier in my sewing life, it was totally totally quilting all the time. Then in 2019, I believe, no, 2018, the year I retired, I saw on Kimberly Jolly's Flosstube, I don't remember what it's called, sorry, Lori Holt's Sew She Did with the turquoise sewing machine. That was the slippery slope. Down I went. I stitched that one and then just kept watching and got into floss tubes. And you know how that goes. And several of you in your comments have said, you know, floss tube has been like, it's turned me around totally. So, and I really do want to balance because I have a ton of materials here and plans for quilts, and either kitted up or partially kitted up, or anyway, I've got, so bottom line, many of you said in your comments that you kind of divide your day, whether you do your stitching in the morning or afternoon or evening, or in your quilting in a certain part of the day, and that I thought sounded good. And so I'm devoting my morning in my sewing room, whatever I'm working on, quilts or project bags or zipper pouches or thread beds or whatever I'm doing. My morning is in my sewing room, and then afternoon is in my stitchy chair. I'm not much good after dinner for doing anything with my eyes. My eyes are done, and I'm an early bird. Wake up really early for no reason. I don't have an alarm set, but we're just up early all the time. So I really get most accomplished in the morning, and I can get through the afternoon, and when it's time to get dinner ready, I'm done with my sewing stuff. So that's what I've been doing, and I've made a lot of progress, and we'll talk about the design wall in a little bit. And it feels good to be back. It feels good to make progress on quilts, and so I'm happy for your input, and I'm happy that right now this is working out well, and if I find that I need to switch it up, I'll switch it up, but I'm happy with it. So thanks for your input. Another comment, I had talked about, I showed the specialty rulers that went with the quilt that I was showing on my wall, and I had tape on the back. I brought it. Behind the computer. Okay, it's on some of my rulers. I put this tape. It's meant for, it's by 3M. It's called Transpore, S-P-O-R-E at the end, Transpore, 3M. And it's to put bandages on, or, you know, gauze pads or something. So it's an adhesive, but it's textured on the outside and relatively clear. So on my rulers that don't have any grippy on them, I've put this tape, and I mentioned that, and I didn't have it last time, but so here it is. And you get it at the where you buy bandages and Band-Aids and all that stuff, so in the pharmacy. But I got a comment from someone who says that, one thing, somebody said I talked about slippy rulers, and I did, slippy. She wondered where I learned that term. I don't know. Anyway, she buys from Amazon clear anti-slip tread tape, and it comes 1 inch wide. She cuts 1/4 inch strips and puts them on the edge of her ruler and says it works really well. So I'm going to give that a try. It might work better than this tape, and I will report back to you and let you know. And if it works, I'll provide the link and you can search it out yourself. Now, I do have some rulers that have grip on them. Quilters Select, wonderful rulers, and the other is, oh, I just looked. Creative Grids, sorry, Creative Grids. They come with that on, but I have a lot of rulers. I've been quilting for years and years. Since I was a young married woman, I've been quilting. So I have accumulated rulers over the years before they had any of that. And really, I was quilting before they had rotary cutters. So, you know, I'm an old person. So most of my rulers don't have that on. The ones I've bought, the Creative Grids and the Quilter Select, they're wonderful, but I'm not replacing the ones I have. So I'm going to check out that anti-slip tread tape and see if it works better, and I'll be happy to report on it if it does. Okay, last time we had a 4K celebration of my subscribers. Thank you so much, all of you. And I have sent out, those who have contacted me, I've sent your packages out, but I've not heard from several people, and I need to hear from you. Let's see, my next video is August 2nd, so I need to hear from you by that morning, by August 2nd, or these things will just go in the pile for next time because I have other opportunities coming up for giveaways. So these are the people I need to hear from. Wanda Klink, and I can't read the number backwards. I think it's 539325. I can't read it backwards. So Wanda, I need to hear from you. Sandy Alford, 9456, I think. I need to hear from Judy Chandler. I need to hear from Rhonda O'Neill. And I need to hear from Susan Hayward Alt. Okay, again, if you are one of these people, please contact me, recoveringmonogamous.stitcher@gmail.com, or a message on Instagram by August 2nd, because I don't want this to drag on. I want to get these things put away. They're kind of hanging out on my counter there. Okay, so that's about the 4K celebration. Okay, I have something else to announce. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen that I posted the logo for the Halloween Memories Sal from Fat Quarter Shop. I'm excited to be participating in that. Okay, here we go. Flosstube throat, sorry, I apologize. So I posted the logo, and I'm excited to be able to show you some things. This is the book that the Sal is based on. It's a wonderful book by Susan Aki. It contains 6 quilt patterns, every single one of them I want to do. It contains 9 cross-stitch patterns, every single one of them I want to do. And they're using an Aurifil thread box, and the box contains 10 spools of thread. It appears to me to be quite a good value. And the stitch along starts on August 20, so you have plenty of time to gather your materials. And I'm going to show you my selections. And I decided, you know, since the models in the book show you with the Aurifil floss and whatever they have selected, instead of showing you the same thing, and stitching the same thing, I'm going to stitch it differently and show you what I have decided. So I've got this in my, my favorite Halloween bag that I made. Spooky, spooky. You recognize that fabric that was on the pin cushion that I made. Anyway, okay, so that's my bag. Get rid of this, sorry. Okay, so here's what I've decided. I'm going to stitch this on 32 count Murky. I had 40 count, but I thought it would make it too small. I don't want it to be too small. So I'm doing 32 count Murky. And I actually went and looked at my Halloween Quaker from Lila Studio to see what colors I used in that, because that really popped on that fabric. And these are the things I used that I can equate with the Aurifil colors in this project. I can't read backwards. Frog legs, black coffee, and rainy day. And then several DMCs. I'm filling it out with those. If you can see those numbers. And I've decided I'm going to put purple rickrack around. And I will get going on this and be happy to show you my progress. I'll be posting it on Instagram and I'll show it to you on the next Flosstube. In fact, I should be done by the next Flosstube. So, and Fat Quarter Shop has a surprise for you. Fat Quarter Shop will send one of my viewers this book. Now, this is going to have a very fast turnaround because they're going to need that information on the person who is picked before my next Flosstube. So we'll do it a little differently this time. So if you are interested in this book, wonderful book by Susan Aki, I am going to ask you, now I wrote out how I figured out how we can do this quickly, so let me look at this. Okay, I'll give you 1 week from today. So by July 26th, comment on this video, not by email, not on Instagram, on this video, put a comment that contains the word Halloween. I know it's only a week, but I have to get the information to Fat Quarter Shop. So jump on it. And if you missed it, if you're seeing this video after July 26th, I'm sorry, there'll be more opportunities for surprises in the near future. So, okay, so you make your comment by July 26th on this video, and I will select a random picker will select a comment that has the word Halloween. Then I will comment on your comment saying, please contact me immediately. Okay, don't put your email and address in that comment now. You're going to email it to Gmail. And let's see, what is contact me immediately? Send your email and mailing address. I have to have both. And then I have to get it to Fat Quarter Shop and they will mail you, or send you somehow, they'll mail it, this wonderful book. So great opportunity, another fun little surprise. It'll be quick, sorry about that. So before you forget, start your comment right now and get the word Halloween in it, and then you know you'll be all set for the opportunity. Thank you so much to Fat Quarter Shop. I've always enjoyed participating in their quilt-alongs and stitch-alongs, and this is no exception. I love Halloween for stitching. I just think it's fun stuff to stitch. Okay, I think I made that clear. Okay, let's talk about stitching. We'll start with my book of days. One of my stitchy friends told me at our Stitch Up meetup, your book is naked, you need stickers. She gave me a bunch of stickers too. So I did put some stickers in here, so. Okay, and I've stitched every day in the 2 weeks, yes I did. I had a finish, and I finished a focus piece, started another then moved to another focus piece to complete my 7 days. And for those of you who are new here, I will tell you that I have a rule for myself that my oldest whip gets 7 days of stitching every month. And I'll show you how I keep track of that too, because it really works for me. And some people have adopted it, and some, or they've adjusted it to work for them, and I'm happy that that helps people. Okay, so my first finish is, my finish this time is from the Scarlett House Little Red Chair Sampler. This was my focus piece at the beginning of the month. I finished it in 4 days this month, so went on to a new focus piece. So here it is, Little Red Chair Sampler, and this is stitched on, it's stitched 1/2 on 40 count Meadow Rue by Lakeside. I used the called for Weeks Dye Works, except that I changed Kohl, K-O-H-L, to DMC 310. So Little Red Chair Sampler, and this is ready to go to the framer. I've pressed it. It looks like maybe it needs another press. I can see it's got a wrinkle in it. So I'll press that again, get that to the framer. That's a focus piece done. Okay. I'm doing this in the order that I stitched them. I probably should have done it different. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I keep track of this. So I love this book. I've shown this many times. I love this. This is how I keep track of my stitching. So Little Red Chair Sampler was number 5 in the book, so I know it's on page number 5. So when I finish, I mark the finish date on the page in the book, and what helps me keep track of what I have going is I put the finish date on the table of contents page. So when I want to know what my oldest WIP is, I go down this column, and the first one that does not have a finish date on it is my new oldest WIP, and that is Margaret Doyle. So that's my next focus piece. Then I mark it 2 more places. In my book of days, I mark it on a page. I had added pages in my book of days, and I have a page of finishes. So I've added it in, and there it is, Little Red Chair Sampler with the date. So these are all my finishes this calendar year. And then I also check back on the page that I have for all of the WIPs that I carried into 2024. And when I finish them, I put a date. So Little Red Chair Sampler, and there's my finish date. So you can see I have several, not all, they're not in order, several from last year that are not finished. Actually, Margaret Doyle, Sweet Summer Come Again, and Ann Borrett are the only ones left from last year. Okay, that's how I keep track. It works for me. Some people like it. And if you're not a planner, that's okay. You do what makes you happy. Okay, and then in the order that I stitch things, I took a day. In fact, it was right after my Flosstube last time, I did a new start. I was just so excited about it. So I started Octopus's Garden from Blackbird Designs. This is part of the Magical Mystery Tour of the Beatles. There are 6 in the series. This is number 5 that I am stitching. I've completed 4 of them. What was one? Oh, Long and Winding Road I still have to finish because I'm going to paint that box and mount it on a round box. So 4 are done, and this is the next one for me. And this is also being stitched as part of the Blackbird BBD Magical Mystery Tour, and sponsored by @Sarah's Stitchy Spot and Peg Page 123, and Fab4 Fan Sal, Julian Stitches 16. Whoops, you can take a picture of that if you want. If you're also stitching these, join along. This has been so much fun to stitch. Well, for one thing, it's on a 16 count Aida, which is a big change for me. I mean, I don't do Aida really often, and it's just so sweet. And my stitching, I had several pieces of fabric to choose from, and my stitching friends in Central Kentucky Stitchers helped me choose the fabric to use for this. I'm really pleased with it. So this is a stitch 2/2. It's 16 count Spearmint. That's the name of the color. Aida from Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm using all DMC floss that's listed. Blackbird Designs always puts a DMC alternate to what they recommend. So I'm using all DMC 2/2. And it's fun. So maybe next time you see it, there'll be an octopus on it. That would be fun. Okay, so that was a new start. And then I moved on to my new focus piece, which is Margaret Doyle. It's now my oldest WIP. This is from Hands Across the Sea, and it was an exclusive with Kitten Stitcher. So you had to get it from Kitten Stitcher, and she still has it. You can get it, and that's the only place you can get it. And oh, in fact, tomorrow is the last day to order anything from her until after she makes her move. So either order something today or early tomorrow, or else you'll have to wait. And I don't know how long she'll take making that move, but good luck to her. Okay, Margaret Doyle, and here is my progress. Actually, I've done quite a bit already. I did 3 days on this because that completed my 7 days for the month on focus. I did 4 on Little Red Chair Sampler and then 3 on this, and then I moved on. So I've continued down this border, continued filling in this little guy. I still haven't figured out what he's doing, eating or whatever. And the DMC looks really beautiful. This is, let me read it to you now. It's stitched 1/2. It's on 40 count Eureka by Fox and Rabbit. And I'm using all DMC floss. And Hands Across the Sea always provides the DMC conversion also. And I think it's beautiful. It just pops on this fabric. I love it. So that's my current focus piece. And, oh, you know what? I didn't bring Ohman. Continue on or stop? Hang on. It's about 10 steps away. Oh, yes. So there we go. Make your list and check it twice. I better check it 3 times. Okay, Ohman is my red sampler, and I do 3 days a month on a red sampler. This is from Lila's studio. I'll pull her out. Now she's not on a board because I didn't get her ready. And I'm stitching this using Classic Colorworks used brick. Okay, there it is. Okay. So I finished this whole second row of the alphabet and numbers, and then did the border down and got around the corner. And that's deceptively difficult. It's intricate, and there are 2 different patterns here. There's this pattern, and then they repeat. It's easy to get mixed up, and there's not like a kind of a landmark to know which spot you're in. It's not like, oh, it's next to the yellow stitch. Well, no, they're all the same color, so it's hard, a little complicated. So I've turned the corner. I plan to finish the border and then start the motifs that are in there. Now let me give you the details on this. Stitched 1/2 on 40 count champagne from Witchelt, and I'm using Color and Cotton used brick. And that's Ohman. And again, I do, for the new viewers, I do 3 days a month on a red sampler. Okay, and that finished I checked off all of my goals for the month in my book of days, and so I had a choice. I've got all kinds of things going. So I went to Margaret Hutton. This is from Hands Across the Sea, and I attended the retreat in Cincinnati, or actually in Northern Kentucky, but in Florence, y'all, with Nicola Parkman. It was so wonderful, and she taught all the specialty stitches, and and I'm really interested in learning how to do the specialty stitches. Okay, so I went back to this, and I had established the length on the border. That was already done. So what I did was I continued this alternating double back stitch, and I finished and continued and finished the row of rice stitch. And I can't get it close enough for you to really see. The rice stitch has a beautiful texture, and the alternating double row back stitch, which has a herringbone stitch in it, it makes a nice divider. So that's Margaret Hutton so far. Another one that I have on the go. Okay, and that completed my stitching. And I have a little bit of haul, not a lot. The first is a gift from one of my stitchy friends. This little stand can hold any of those spools of thread, like the 100.3 silks, or sulkies, or whatever, those skinny, actually it wouldn't have to be the skinny spools, but it's a nice size to just sit next to the stitchy chair. I appreciate it very much. Okay, and another thing I got was, I had an order from Fat Quarter Shop. I got some backing fabric. I should show you, I suppose. I got some backing fabric to put on my grandmother's flower garden quilt in anticipation of me getting that done. That's a little incentive. And since I was doing that, I threw in some Weeks Dye Works, and you can see I put them on those hang tags so that they hang nicely like the others. I had joined the Floss Club for Weeks Dye Works through Fat Quarter Shop after I came back from Florida, because I didn't want to have any mail forwarding issues or anything. So I waited till I was back. So I missed the first parts of the alphabet. So I grabbed 4 of the A's, and when I do orders, I'll throw in some more and get caught up on those. So that's Weeks Dye Works threads. And one find I made that I'm really thrilled with. This is for finishing. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I found this at Michael's for $8. I'm going to spray paint it white. It's going to hang on one of my stitchy closet doors. I told you about this before, that this is how I plan to do this. And it's going to be this project, When the Queen is Happy, There's Peace in the Kingdom. And I'll do it I'll mount it on 8-inch square and put it on, after I've spray painted this, I'll mount it in here and hang it on the door with a command hook. That's my plan for that one. I'm excited about finding that. I looked so many places. I had that in mind with these beads for the hanger. Just, a less formal kind of finish for that, which, it's just a funny message anyway. So, and I want it on my closet doors, so I'm thrilled I found it. Anyway, I started to tell you all the places. I bet I went 6 places looking for something appropriate to put that in, a square and da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, thrilled, on sale. Okay, plans. I'm going to continue with my regular stitchy plan, 7 days, although I'll see you on August 2nd. I won't have started a new month by then. But I do 7 days a month on a focus piece. I do 3 days a month on a red sampler. I used to have the 5 days for Forget-Me-Not, but I have finished the stitching on that. I'm getting ready for the state fair. I've selected all of my cross-stitch pieces, and I'm at a point now where I have run out of quilts that were finished within the past 3 years. Because, as I said, the pendulum swung from doing all quilting to doing all cross-stitch, and so now I'm at the end. So we'll talk about what I have on my design wall in a minute. That's part of getting ready for the state fair. And I'm going to be attending a retreat in Litchfield, Kentucky in September. And you can look it up on stablestitcher.net. She has that retreat schedule calendar. You can find it in there, and the guest designer is Lucy Beam. I'm looking forward to that. And as I say, that's in September. It's 27, 28, and 29 in Litchfield, Kentucky. So that's on the books. Okay, now ready for quilt talk. So let me talk to you first. I had it in my hand and I left it on the cutting table. Sorry, hang on. Okay, here's the long story. The first year we went to Florida, I pre-cut quilt projects and had them all, pieces all labeled and boxed up and ready to go, and I took them. But when I was there, I was frustrated by the lack of space to spread my things out. I had a 6-foot table, other than my sewing machine table, but I had a 6-foot table, and I had a spot for pressing and ironing with a wool mat, and I had a spot with a cutting board and cutting, and then I needed space to lay things out, and that was at well, I would say at a premium, but it was lacking. So I got frustrated, and then the time came when I had to switch to sewing masks, and every piece of fabric I had down there was designated for a project. I did not want to use my $12 a yard fabric for masks. So anyway, these things got put away. The boxes, when we came back, and I had been frustrated because of lack of space, they got put away and out of sight, out of mind. And so when I was realizing, oh, I'm not going to have any quilts to enter in the state fair, I was looking for something that was close enough to being done that I could get it done. And I had registered to enter one quilt for the holiday category. They call it a class, or I don't know what they call it, but for the holiday. And so I was trying to determine which of these, so I put in, okay, I'll submit one, knowing one of these I can get done for this year and another for next year, and this one is going to win out because it's much less complicated to put together. I still have to put the borders on, and I could have finished it yesterday, but my time was up on sewing room, and so I went to my stitchy chair. So that's the next thing I'll finish. But it is Witch's Night Out, and I got this right when it came out in 2019. It's still available, but it's a PDF download from Fat Quarter Shop. Excellent instructions, excellent pictures. I mean, you could go wrong, I suppose, but it's wonderful. The instructions are wonderful, and the photos and everything. So if you're interested in this, it's just a darling quilt, and I'm going to hang it as a wall hanging, not on a bed. Witch's Night Out, and I will put the link in the notes below. And let me undo the camera, and we'll take a little walk over there and look at the design wall. Okay, so as I said, I'm out of having quilts done. So for a while, you're not going to see finished quilts hanging here. You're going to see quilts in progress. And I hope you find that interesting too, instead of just finished quilts. I haven't run out of finished quilts yet, but I need to get working on them, so I'm not, a month before the fair trying to quickly get something done. So look first at Witch's Night Out, Fat Quarter Shop. It's So Emma. It is so darn cute. I mean, look at that. And I have the outer borders to put on, and I have the binding cut. And I've just ordered backing fabric. I should have ordered at the time, but I was probably trying to, I'll spread the cost out, I'll get it later. Well, doy. Anyway, for the backing, I found a cute one. And I'll show you when I get that on. But it's just so cute. All the pumpkins, the different designs on the pumpkins, aren't they cute? This fabric is Fig Tree Company, Joanna Figueroa, the witch's hat, and more pumpkins. And more pumpkins. The cat on the broom is just precious. Love it. More pumpkins. More pumpkins and a bat, a spooky bat. Okay, where am I? Am I showing you? Okay, bottom row. Pumpkins. Cauldron. Can't quite see what I'm showing you. Okay, that's better. And pumpkins. Now the binding for this is black, and I got I've ordered another Joanna Figueroa fabric in an orange, and I'm thinking since it's her design and she kind of has a color palette that she likes, I'm thinking it'll be great, and it's on the back anyway, so I will be happy with that. what else was I going to tell you about this? Oh, I've looked for pantographs. I don't have time to do a custom quilt job. That's just not going to, it would be fun, but I just don't have time. And I've looked for pantographs, spiderweb kind of pantographs, so just all over edge to edge. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I don't know. I have to look again. Some of them have an awful lot of backtracking, which if it's not done neatly, it can be a real mess. And I'm going to enter it in the fair. I don't want to have a mess. So if I'm going to keep looking, I have one company that I usually order from all the time, and Urban Elements with a Z. I'll look again, see if I've missed anything, and then look around. But if I don't find anything, the squared spiral that I showed on the last quilt, no, 2 quilts ago. Last quilt was a Jaybird. It was the Craftsy quilt with the stars and the chains on it. I did that squared spiral, and I think that would look good on this also. So if I don't find a spiderweb one that I like, I will do squared spiral. Okay, now the other that I have a start on my board, my design wall, is Tannenbaum by Edita Sitar, Laundry Basket Quilts. You can see this one is much more intricate, and it's going to take a lot more time. So I will keep this up. I'm not packing it away out of sight, out of mind. It's going to be up, and I will be working on that and get that done for next year. And this pattern, I will put I'm putting the link for these patterns. The Fat Quarter Shop has the booklet, and Edita Sitar has a print pattern or a PDF download if you want PDF download. She has kits for this colorway, which I don't know how she has it because that fabric is certainly not available anymore. This is from, I think, about the same, well, it was the same era as when I started the pumpkin quilt. And she has a kit for Scrappy, which is very cute too. So that's as far as I've gotten. I have not yet done my applique stitches on these. These are ironed on. It has a light fusible on the back. And so I have to, with invisible thread on the top and a low tension on the top and a blending thread on the back, I need to do my zigzags around those. So that'll be a little intricate. Fine, but intricate. And so, oh, here's a picture of the finish. You can see it has the spool for the trunk. So this is going to be a lot more intricate. And I have it's all cut. This is one I had all pre-cut before I went to Florida. I have everything cut, and I certainly hope I didn't make a mistake on cutting because I will be out of luck. So for a while, you're going to be seeing the design wall as a working design wall, not just having a finished quilt hanging there. I hope you enjoy that. It's the way it's going to be for a while, and then I'll get back to showing finished quilts. I have more, so haven't run out yet. Well, I think that's all, Flosstube. I thank you so much for stopping by. Remember to put the word Halloween in your comment, and check back and see if I put a comment on your comment saying contact me immediately, and then I need your email and address. And that's by 1 week from today, July 26th. Don't dilly-dally because I'll need it quickly, like a day or two, and that's it, because I've got to get it to Fat Quarter Shop. And that's all the admonishments I have for you. So have happy stitching and happy quilting, and I'll see you again next time, Flosstube. Bye-bye.